some of the more obscure writings. And one of my students, a couple of my students, in a creative way for their final project, decided to create Ernest Holmes' Facebook page. And so you're able to, if you're on Facebook, I encourage you to friend Ernest Holmes, you know, and they put up a lot of photos and his timeline. Now, they tried to put his actual birth date in as 1887, but it didn't accept that, so they put it in as 1987. But other than that, everything else is direct quotes from him. And as I was looking at this yesterday, the quotes that they were putting up were so pertinent to what's happening in the world today. Exactly where we are. The wisdom of this philosophy that came through this amazing man is powerful and transformative. And so I encourage you, if you're on Facebook, you might as well be friends with Ernest. You know? And so with that, I'll invite you to stand up and say hello to your friend next to you and greet your neighbor.
So stay standing, you guys, and let's go ahead and sing I Trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful, I trust in God. I'm happy, so happy, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm happy, so happy, I trust in God. I'm loving, so loving, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm loving, so loving, I trust in God. Let the band boogie. Joyful noise. I surrender, I surrender, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender, I trust in God. Back to grateful. I'm grateful, so grateful, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm so grateful, I trust in God.
And as I mentioned, our truth for transformation today is faith. And our spiritual reading comes from 365 Days of Richer Living, Daily Inspirations by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker. So I invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just open to these words of wisdom entitled, God Takes Care of Me. Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. Psalm 139:3. Omnipresence surrounds me, and omniscience is mine. Never for an instant does God separate himself from his creation. Always there is an abiding presence and a beneficent power. I am forever established in my good, for wherever I am, there is the law to produce it. I am never forsaken and never alone. As I turn in thought to God, all love appears in my heart and all peace acts in my mind. People unconsciously respond to the Christ within me and share their good with me. I have divine protection all through the day and night. There is nothing to fear, for divine intelligence is my inner security, and I am led in paths of blessings. A loving presence enfolds me, and a security not born of man is mine. Never again will I fear the future, regret the past, or be anxious in the present. I have absolute faith in the power of God where I am and wherever I may go. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Heaven is where I am, and God is my only reality. The truth has set me free of fear, and I walk undaunted the pathways of God. Immersed in my good and aware of it, I laugh at fear and declare my faith. The Spirit is within me as definite guidance and complete success. I am protected from all evil, for divine intelligence inspires me to right action. God knows I am successful, healthy, and peaceful. I now join with God in this. All other human speculations are as nothing, for God alone is true, and success alone is possible. I let God act in my world, and I know that divine love upholds me in righteousness and peace. Always, the Lord is at hand, yea, even within me. I am blessed and sustained by the Christ within my soul. And so breathing into the center here, and simply realizing this truth that God is right here in this moment, awake, activated, alive, in its fullness, in its allness, in its magnificence and truth. That spirit of love, that spirit of peace, of harmony, of creativity, ever expanding. God simply is all, in all, as all. It is a truth that I am. It is a truth that is each one of us. And we come together in this moment, in this unity of being, simply to remember that truth and allow it to have its way. And so in this moment, I know God is pouring itself forth in, through, and as each of us, revealing the wholeness, revealing the health, revealing the truth, and the creative opportunity to simply share the gift that we have come here to share. And so I know in this there is healing, there is wholeness, there is peace, and there is love. And so this day unfolds in divine time, in perfect order, allowing for the highest revelation of truth. That opportunity simply abounds to be, to speak, to know, and to give and receive love. And so with a grateful heart, I accept these gifts. I call them forth, I cherish them, and simply am grateful for the presence of God as it moves and breathes as each of us. And so surrendering my word unto that law, I know it is complete. And so it is. Amen.
It's my great joy to introduce our guest artist for this morning. Charles Holt is a native of Nashville, Tennessee. He's a member of Agape International Spiritual Center in Los Angeles and has starred some major accomplishments on Broadway in The Lion King, Smokey Joe's Cafe, and the European tour of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. He speaks at colleges and universities all over the country on empowerment and leadership, and his first book, Intuitive Rebel, was recently released by AMI and Hay House. Woo! And the icing on all of those accomplishments is that Charles Holt is grateful. Please give him a warm Seaside welcome.
Good morning. All right. angel asked me, do you know who you are? The question and the answer is not very far. The song of the sages, the knowledge of the ages is living where you reside. You have the key that unlocks the door to enter in that sacred place you haven't gone before, where deep meets deep, soul to soul. Feel that connection as the truth unfolds. I am. Yes, you are the key that unlocks the door to freedom and leads you to me. Look deep inside you, trust the force that guides you. It knows the way. Yeah, there's no separation. We're one in the same, a child of the Creator, known by different names. The Alpha and Omega, the eternal flame that burns deep inside you. Do you know my name? I am. From the mountains to the oceans, I am. From the rocks to the trees, I am. All the stars and constellations, I am. You are. I am light, I am love. I live in you, and you live in me. From the very low to the heavens above, I am. Put your hands together. There's no separation. We're one in the same, a child of the Creator, known by different names. The Alpha and Omega, the eternal flame that burns deep inside you. Do you know my name? I am. All understanding. I am the joy that's overflowing. I am the love in abundance. I am. You are. I
Mr. Charles Holt. Charles, it has been too long. Way to get you back here. How wonderful. You just rocked it. Hey, you got a new book, I see. Check this out. Intuitive Rebel from Hay House. Congratulations. That's your journey from Tennessee to Broadway, huh? And beyond. I was just so excited for you. This is great. Good things are happening. Good going. Thanks for sharing them with us. Oh, good. Good, man. Coming back, right? About 20 minutes. That's Charles Holt. From Broadway to Seaside. Is that the natural step to take? That was so good. That's so good. Hey, good morning, Seaside. What a joy it is to be with you today. It is a fabulous day. I am in the midst of a magical weekend, and so it is so fun for you to be part of that magic and that wonder in my life. I am one of those that was blessed with being brought up in a great family and just had an extended, wonderful clan and tribe. And as our families began to grow, one broke off to San Francisco, one of the moms of like the 5 or 6 brothers here. And so we always did our Christmases and Thanksgivings and birthdays and holidays together. And so what we started doing was going up to San Francisco for Thanksgiving, and then after Thanksgiving dinner, we would break out the stockings and start singing the Christmas carols, and we started calling it Christgiving, and we did that every year until all the boys, became married and starting to have our own families, and then we couldn't, leave our house, for the holidays, and so we started doing Christgiving in October, and actually, they all came down to our place this week, and 18 been staying at our house, and we've been celebrating Christgiving in July or August, been having fun. So I got some of the crew here, and it's just a lot of fun. What I learned was really love. I learned the power of love, the magic of love, and that you can't see love, but you absolutely can feel it, you can sense it, you can see what it can do, and love transcends time and space, and those of the clan that moved out of this realm, there's still that connection, because love transcends time and space. It is multidimensional, and even if we don't get together for years, we pick up where we left off. And even if we don't connect with mom and dad for years, we'll be able, I know, to pick up. And I learned about that invisible power, that essence. And this morning's transformational truth is faith. And what I've come to recognize with faith is you can't see faith either. But what you can see are its results. What you can see is the manifestation in our lives of those that have faith. It is said those with great faith have great power. Power. It really comes down then what you put your faith in. Ernest Holmes talked about fear. And what he said about fear is that fear is the negative use of faith. Fear is misplaced faith. It is putting our faith in, oh my God, this is going to happen to me. And it happens. It doesn't matter, how you use it, it will respond. Like the electrical current. You can make wonderful margaritas by plugging in the blender. And nice job, electricity. Or you can stick your finger in there and fry yourself. It really doesn't care. And faith will manifest the difficulties in your life if that's what you put your faith in, or if you choose to come into alignment with that love and that divine power and bring that forth. But what happens is when circumstances begin to rise in our life, they kind of take off and they run wild. And it's like riding an elephant. You've got a rider on an elephant who's in charge and can direct the elephant as to where it is they want to go. But if something spooks the elephant and they take off, there's nothing that rider's going to be able to do to try to steer that elephant because it is so big. Well, our emotions and our feelings and our imagination is like that elephant. And if it begins to take off and it starts spinning and it starts going, and I have got this fear, and the doctor said this, and the bank account says that, and the relation, and the head starts going, and I'm never going to get out of this. My body's in charge, and all of a sudden, you start going in this direction. You're waking up at night. The head is spinning, looking at the ceiling. It's because that elephant or that emotions or that imagination, you have placed your faith in this world of form. You have placed your faith in the realm of appearance. You have placed your faith in what the doctors have told you. Well, I want you to know I have seen bodies turn themselves around. People with bones that shouldn't have gone back together go back together. Spines straighten out. Tumors disappear. Diabetics no longer need insulin. People who are positive HIV no longer have it showing up. I have seen it all around, and what I choose to place my faith in is that something that is greater than appearances. What I want you to know is you can piggyback on that if you want, because it is so. It's something that's got to believe that's possible. Gabrielle Roth, in those early days of that trance dancing teacher, Esalen, she said, it's as if we all have the potential of being full-body bardos, but what's sad is most people only believe they're Welch's grape juice. You know? They only believe. They only have faith. They only have sense that I can have this much. It's no longer possible to go into a place that as a child I hoped was so. It doesn't seem. You've got to begin to believe, and that's something inside of you, as Ernest says, has never been violated. That's something inside of you that has a faith that knows that it is possible. Now, one of the things that differentiates the New Thought movement from traditional beliefs, philosophies, is like the Eastern philosophies, the Christian Judaic philosophies, they put their power in God, in the something that is outside of themselves. But what we believe is that there is only one power. And we don't put our faith in God, we have the faith of God. Get that difference? We have the faith of God, of spirit, of life, of that all animating, of all creative power. We have the faith of that. We're not putting it in something outside, because that something outside can change. That something can go away. But if you begin not to put your power in something, but you have the power of that life force, you are that power that can express, but you've got to believe it. You've got to honor that something inside of you. I can remember walking at the beach. Someone asked me, "Hey, you know what time it is?" I was like, "I got a bathing suit on. You can say I don't have a watch." But I made it up. I said, I think it's, probably I believe it's about 2:30. And she goes, no, it's not 2:30, because it was 2:30 a half hour ago. And like, what are you asking me for? I didn't say that. I'm thinking, come on. What is it that's in you that needs me to confirm what it is you already know? But what happens in our life is that we're looking for the outside confirmation that says, you know what? Yeah, you're right in there. There's something inside of us that knows, but we don't honor that. We don't believe we're that full-body bardo. We think we're these wild emotions that are going crazy. We think we're in this world of appearance and form, that is the truth. No, God is the truth. I know that I set my alarm clock for Sunday mornings, get up either 3:15, 3:30, and inevitably every Sunday I get up just before it clicks. Thank goodness for Callie, because it doesn't go blaring. And then I turn it off, I get up, and I start doing my stuff. But what's interesting is I'll be off traveling. I got to get to the airport early, and it's a different alarm clock, or it's important not to miss a plane, or all of a sudden my head starts getting involved. Now, I know I have this automatic alarm clock that works, and we all as kids had this automatic alarm clock that works, but I will find myself, I will wake up a half a dozen times through the course of the night checking that clock to make sure it went off, when I know inside of myself there's something that knows how to wake up with an alarm clock, but yet I'm not having faith in my ability inside. And we've got to come to realize, not only do I know what time it is, I know right timing. I know when to get in, and I know when to get out. I know when to fold them, and I know when to hold them. There is something inside of us that knows if we can develop that greater belief or faith in that life force that is moving through you. It's moving through you. It wants to move. It wants to express in you, as you. You had it as a child. Wonderful story. It comes from a book called The Exceptional View. And there's just a little paragraph in there of a child in a dialogue telling about his conversation with mom and saying that he wasn't old enough to play baseball yet. And he says, I'm not even 8 yet. And my mom said that when I start to play baseball, I may not run as fast as the other kids because I had an operation. But I told her it doesn't matter whether I can run fast or not, because I'm just going to hit him out of the park, and then I'm going to walk around the bases. What happened to that faith when you were 8, that you knew you could hit it out of the park? What happened to that faith that whatever life dealt you, you knew was not an insurmountable issue in your life? That whatever it was just an appearance in this world, but there was something inside of you that was greater than whatever came your way. Well, I get caught up because I'm trying to make things happen. One of the trips, we were going down to Costa Rica. I worked on getting our seats, and I worked pretty hard on getting us good seats. I prefer bulkhead. That doesn't usually happen, but I want to get as close to the front of the plane as we can get. 3 of us together is very important, and what's also very important is on the left side, so my left elbow can go out so I can write, and I don't hit anybody. And I work quite diligently on that. And I remember sitting on a plane, fully crowded, going out of Houston into Costa Rica, and we were boarding, and I'm on it, we're on it, and there's this newlywed couple that comes walking down the aisle, and they're happy as can be, and then they realize their seats weren't together. And it's like a kid being told they can't go to Disneyland today when it's like, oh. And so the girl got to sit in the middle bulkhead, and the guy got to sit like behind her a couple rows. But the lady on the edge of the bulkhead, saw what was going on, and she like jumped up and said, hey, let me, give you my seat. And so the guy in the back sat with his fiancée, and they were happy, and she was just joyful. And later had a chance to say, boy, that was very generous of you. You gave up corner bulkhead to somebody you didn't know. I'm very impressed. And she said, I was a newlywed once. I remember what that was like. And besides, I'm going to Costa Rica. I'd sit in the luggage for all that matters. And it's like, here I am. I get so fussy, so intense about trying to get this right, and I forget. There's just pure joy in a moment. And her joy was so infectious and so outpouring that the magic touched other people. There was a faith about the joy and the good that was coming her way that went out and touched others, and it was not all tied up in trying to get it just perfect for her. It's like the stress didn't get her. The emotions didn't get her. It was the joy, and someone who is living in joy is, they bring that to the world. We were on the same plane, flying at a high altitude. I got to tell you, she was closer to heaven than anybody else on that plane, because there was something inside of her that didn't get caught up in the drama. One time we were doing an event here, speaker hadn't showed up, and we conveyed that to the organizer. I said, no drama. I thought, wow, that's a good approach. I've heard no worries, be happy, no problem, hang loose, but no drama. That was like a different one. I like that. Because drama just conjures up all sorts of, victim. Yeah? In a drama, you got a victim, and then you got, situations of people who victimize. Or it conjures up, I got a good guy, but a good guy's got to have a bad guy. Right? Or drama's got tension, doubt, and you don't know the outcome. Now, the Course in Miracles says, ultimately, it always works out. Ultimately, it always works out. So why do I want the tension? Why do I want the drama? But some people are just addicted to drama. You know any drama queens in your world? Drama! Chicken Little. House is on fire. This is never going to get better. Whatever it is. And there's people who operate at a high level of drama, and they keep perpetuating that. There are others just more comfortable at mid-level drama, and just keep that level going. It rises, come back down, go down, bring it up. Then you got those who just don't do drama. And the addiction, it should be one of the 12-step programs, I figure. DA, Drama Anonymous. 12-step programs based on my life has become unmanageable. If I could just move beyond the drama in my life. Esther Hicks, Abraham, said, if you shine in the midst of crisis, remember you can shine without crisis. And so if crisis rises, do I have faith? Or am I going to let that elephant of emotions and fear and concern run rampant? Or am I going to have the faith that begins to bring it back into alignment? Those that have great faith have great power in their world. Norman Vincent Peale says, always treat emergencies leisurely. Don't jump. Don't fire off that email. Don't give your power away. Take the time. I get this email every now and then from different people. It says, hello, Christian. Today I'm going to handle all your problems and challenges. I don't need any help from you. Have a great day. Yours truly, God. I think that's kind of nice. I like that. I like that. See, one of the arts in life is to be able to constantly readjust to the way the world goes. Can I readjust to life and to what life is throwing me? Am I able to be present enough and have enough faith in this present where I don't have to have it all figured out on down the road until infinity, or can I just be present? Now, there's this classic story of a bus going down a backcountry road, and there's an old, whimsical guy sitting on the bus with a bunch of cut flowers on his lap, and a young, pretty girl sitting across the way. She was just, looking at the flowers, kind of looking at the flowers, and finally, when the bus came to the old man's stop, he got up and he said, "I could see you just loving these flowers." And he gave them to her, and she accepted them. And he said, "I know my wife would want you to have these, and I'll tell her I gave them to you." And she just said, "Thank you," as she watched him get off the bus and walk through the gate of the cemetery. He was able to shift and change, readjust in a moment. Had enough faith to trust what that little kid inside knows, that they can hit it out. The trust that something that knows what time it is. Able to trust that something, this is right. This is what's appropriate in this moment. Do I have enough faith with what my insides are telling me? Can I let go of the illusion of how I think it's supposed to be? Because sometimes letting go of illusion is even richer than finding a truth. Got that one? Letting go of an illusion can be richer for you than actually discovering a new truth. They got the squeaky wheel kind of thing, and we heard that sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the grease, but also sometimes it gets replaced. And it's not about fixing that which is broken. It's about creating that space for something new and greater and grander to show up in our life. It's not like living in a world where you're terrorized and trying to get by. Deepak Chopra said that you can live in a world that is safe with moments of danger, or you can live in a world that is dangerous with moments of safety. Choice is yours. How do you want to perceive your world and your life? Because you're living in that conversation. That's where you're putting your faith. Those with great faith have great works. Those are conscious as to where they're putting their faith, not misplacing it, but putting it from a place of choice. The clan that's hanging out with me, they're all theater guys. Aunt Judy, who was here, she just got off the stage doing a show last month. Denny was in the acting workshops with my parents in the 50s. It's just a theatrical group. And so growing up around the stage, it's just amazing. You watch this great production, and then when it's done, they go on strike. I think, strike. I'm not talking about strike holding up picket signs. They strike the stage. They put away the props, the costumes, the sets come down, and what is left at the end of a production is another big black box with infinite potential. But it is empty. It is a blank slate. It is an empty stage. They strike the sets, and that's it. But what is there is now the space for someone with a new vision and a faith and a new idea, and to have it clear enough that they convey it to individuals who are able to bring it forth. And you'll watch people when they're on the stage, and they're doing their show, and then they exit the stage. Exit. Stage left. Boom. And they're gone. And they're going somewhere. I don't know. They're going to the races. They're going to die. They're going into a relationship. I don't know where they're going, but what I know is when I'm watching, I know where they're going. And the truth is, where they're going off into the darkness of the wings, and that's it. But there's such a consciousness that you are engaged, and you know that they are going to do whatever it is that they are going to do. That is the kind of belief that we have got to take into our life and into our world, that we got to take out there. The quantum physicists will tell you that all experiments are influenced by the experimenter. The observer influences that molecular structure that is doing whatever it is. Now, if someone who's just observing a situation is making a difference, at least according to the physicist, imagine what a difference you're making in your life through your participation and what it is you're doing. See, your life is really an unfoldment of your belief or your conversation. So often people think they are living in the life of situations and circumstances, but they're living in a life of conversation. If the conversation is it's scarcity, it is tough, there's pain, there's difficulty, I'll never recoup, or whatever it is, then that's the world you get to dwell in. But if your conversation is this joy, look at this possibility, hey, there's a little healing going on here, look at the abundance, or the whatever it is, then that's the world you walk in. You're a commentator, Not an analysis saying this is what has happened. You're the forecaster. This is what's coming. This is what's possible. This is what's unfolding. And so just like that God particle or that Higgs boson that is coming out of the nothingness, from the invisible, but there is this attracting factor, and you put that attracting factor into the surge of creation that is moving forth out there, and it will attract to it everything that supports it. The Persian poet Hafiz, he said that you have all the ingredients to live in the experience of joy. Mix it. Mix it. Mix it. You have all the ingredients to live in the experience, in the existence of joy. You got to mix it. You're the one who's got to get it going. You can know that, but you got to take some action. You know, faith without works is dead, is what it's said. You got to do some mixing. You got to do some involvement. And so sometimes when you're moving through life, sometimes it is just good to pause. When you're in pursuit of happiness, sometimes it's just right to pause and be happy. You know, you got that? It's like sometimes it's just right to pause and be happy when you're looking for it. You know, it's enough to like, oh, I got to make this happen. Just pause and say, okay, I'm going to be happy now. You know, it's okay to experience joy in my life. I can give up the pursuit for a while because we're moving so fast. We're looking for the joy or whatever it is we're looking for. And sometimes when we're moving fast in our life, we forget that slowing down is an option. Right? I'm in pursuit. Whoa. Stopping, pausing, slowing down is like a viable option here. You can do that. I can have faith in these moments of pausing and faith. You're at choice. So often people don't realize they're at choice. They think this, you know, I want to create this. No, you're at choice. You can be happy with where you are. You can give up your choice seat, move somewhere else and experience joy and bring that joy to others. You, right in the midst of your relationship, you can choose happiness instead of holding out for that fantasy lover. Or in your home, you can be happy right there instead of wanting that bigger, better place. Or your job, you could choose to be okay and good right where you are rather than having to wait till you get it out there. You can have faith that it's possible right where I am. And I'm not saying you've got to stay in the home or the relationship or that house, but you can. That's an option. And what I've come to notice is as we become happy with where we are, that is what the better and the greater come out of. I put my faith in that joy and that happiness as my guiding system and realize from that is where the increase comes, the greater joy. And so I allow my prayers not to be so much, hey, God, this is what I want. Because I'm dealing with this infinite intelligence that created all of this. There's part of me that thinks, you know what, it probably knows how to do it. Yeah. And it might be wise if like I just acquiesce and allow that allness, that first thought, that first cause, that all animating first breath to breathe through me and guide me. And really my prayers are not so much, God, get in here and do this. And you hear me talk this all the time. It's like it's to close my mouth, to close my eyes and open my ears and open my heart and be like that one that knew that an automatic alarm clock works, to be like that one that knows the time, that child that knows how to hit it out, that's something that knows inside of ourselves when to step out there and to listen to that. I want to become, you've heard me say, like a pane of glass where the sunlight comes in. I want to be like the pane of glass so I can let the God presence in my life. I have enough faith in what God is, that life force, that joy, that power, that invisible something that when I'm so in tune, it manifests in my life. I can't see it, but I can see what it does. I have so much faith in that I want to be in that place that it can bring into my life that which is greater than what it is I want. That can bring into my life that which is greater than what I think is possible. I have enough faith that it has something in store for me beyond my expectations, that God's plan, it can be my plan, that God's good is my good, and it's happening to me now is the attitude that I want to take. And so as I step into the trusting and that faith and that presence, what unfolds is greater than could have been expected. There's an old story that comes from Holland of a fishing village. And their life revolved around the sea and fishing, and they had a volunteer rescue rowboat team. And one night, in the midst of a horrific storm, torrential downpour, thick clouds, and gale winds, a fishing boat capsized. And they sent out the SOS to this little fishing village. And the captain of the rescue rowboat team, did whatever the alarm is, and everybody came down to the town square. And he picked the guys, and off they went into the blackness of night, into the gale force winds, boat just getting drenched as they just fought through, and they disappeared into the clouds of rain. The people walked on the beach with their lanterns, trying to hold the lights and keeping this. About an hour later, out of the blackness, they could see the boat coming into the shore. And the boat came ashore, and the guys came out, and the rowers just collapsed on the sand, exhausted. And they said, "Get everybody." And the captain said, "No, there was one lone person. We couldn't get another person in the boat. We should not have taken this many. One more would have surely capsized. Can I get some more guys to go back out there?" Well, the main A team was gone. And there's this little 16-year-old by the name of Hans that said, "I'm going to go." And his mom said, "No, you're not going. I lost your dad 10 years ago to the sea. Your older brother, Paul, has been missing for months to the sea. You're not going." He said, "Mom, I got to go." He had that feeling inside. He said, "When I'm called to serve, I have to go." So Mom let her son go. And the last thing she had, got in the boat, and out they went. And the hour went by. It had to be like eternity to Mom waiting on that beach for her son to return. And eventually, out of the darkness in the midst, they could see the boat coming through that fog and the rain. And the captain who was on the beach, cupped his hands and said, "Did you find the lone survivor?" And Hans, the 16-year-old sitting on the bow, yells back, "We found them. We found him. And tell Mom it's my older brother, Paul." Whew, what Spirit has in store. When we can listen, when we can have faith, and that's something that stirs in our heart and our soul, and say yes to that. It knows how to make our world right. It knows how to bring into our experience that which is fulfilling. It can lead us to the healing of our body and our world of affairs. Those with great faith have great power. My challenge to you today is to practice that faith, to believe in that, to know that you have all that is necessary to bring forth that into your world that is far greater than what your human mind believes is possible. God bless you for those gifts. Hey, let's keep it going and bring Charles Holt back to the stage.
Rolling river God, little stones are smooth, only once the water passes through. Now I am a stone, rough and grainy still, trying to reconcile this river's chill. But when I close my eyes and feel you rush I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when the sunset comes, my prayer will be just one, that you might pick me up and notice I am just a little smoother in your hands. Sometimes raging wild, sometimes swollen high, but never have I known this river dry. The deepest part of you is where I want to stay. And feel the sharpest edges wash away. But when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time and change takes time. And when the sunset comes, my prayer will be just one, that you might pick me up and notice I am. I'm just a little smoother in your hands. Rolling river God, these little stones are smooth. It's only once the water passes through. I am just a little smoother in your
Charles Holt. What a voice, what a spirit, what a gift. Thank you. Wow. Oh, man, that's good. That is good. Hey, this is the time of our service where we have the opportunity to unite together in our giving, in our sharing, in sending forth that gift that has touched our life and in our world. That is our participation in supporting God's work that's showing up at Seaside. And as you give, it allows you to be in that flow. You get to see the level in which you're participating. You are that activity that God is having in your life, and it is through your actions that you get to see the level in which it reciprocates and it shows up. And as you give, it comes back. It's not why you do it, but that's how that flow works. So I invite you to look within your heart and feel and sense that which wants to be given in this moment. And I want to call the ushers forward at this time and say thank you to this wonderful group, and thank you to those that mail in your contributions. It is always a blessing, and those that remember us with the auto tithe, that regular systematic support from your world into our world. It's we have our regular ongoing responsibilities, and that gift helps us. And Michael, thank you for the flowers. Those are gorgeous. Those are in honor of your mom's birthday, huh? They're beautiful. Well, that love continues. Well, thank you. Well, we'll connect again. So I offer this prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities as we do take that offering from our heart and our soul and spirit and can feel that love and that life force, for that divine unfolds in this very moment through each and every one. For right where each of us sits is that vortex of that wonderful flow of God, for we're dealing in this realm of infinite possibilities, an inexhaustible reservoir of ever-expanding good, and each of us becomes that point of its expression, of its manifestation. So feeling how our world has been touched and blessed, we allow these blessings to ripple out from where it is we stand or sit today. So with joy, we send forth that gift that has gifted our life into this world, knowing it continues to enrich all those with whom it comes in contact. Thank you. It's with a sense of gratitude, not to anyone, just a sense of gratitude that we go forth into this day with the ability to share. And so it is. Amen. And together, let us say the sharing of our tithes and offerings, which is divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. Again, with a lot of heart and soul and passion. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. guys from Seaside. Bob Mathis on the saxophone, Jerry there on those drums, Tom on the bass, Tracy on the Bergendorfer. Great jobs. Speaking of great jobs with music, Charles Holt, fabulous. Thank you, man. You're great. Man, what heart, what spirit. Make sure you pick up his CD or his new book. Yeah, that would be great to do for sure. And just Harry, thank you so much for stepping in today and leading us in the musical pieces as Fran's off on vacation. So, blessing. Reverend Catherine, always a joy to share Sunday with you. Thank you. Hey, giving us sound in the back is Ed. Giving us the visuals is Marv. Great job, guys. Know that CDs are available right after the service, but right next to them is Tim, podcasting and live streaming. And I understand we got rid of the ads, Tim, so good job with that. We've already got responses saying that was good. Let's see. Hey, guys, anything you want to share over there? Didn't we have teens that went to camp? Oh, we got any here? Maybe not. Okay, well, I'll tell you what then. Take a look at the classes that are going up. I see Dr. Leo Fishbeck. You want to stand up? This gentleman is offering a drop-in basics of science of mind, conversational class, Thursdays, 6 weeks. Legend in the philosophy in the world. So check that out. Also, today at 4 o'clock, doing a memorial service, one of our dear sisters, Stephanie Miner, made her transition. So you're welcome to come back and be part of that. When do you guys want to share something here? Come on, Nick, come on up. All right. I'll tell you what, you can stand by that podium. How'd it go?
Hi.
Hi.
First, I would like to thank all of you who donated and supported all of the teens that go to camp, because we all had so much fun. And the workshops were just amazing, because it was from joy to peace to the divine love, and we really all connected. And I think each and every one of us who went to camp really connected with our God self, because there was 300 teens, and we were all supportive and just really loving, and it was just amazing. I mean, I can't show you how much love and thanks that I give to you for letting me and the other teens have the opportunity to really see how the spiritual center of it was just amazing. So I just would like to thank all of you.
Good job, man. Good job. Thank you all for giving them that opportunity. Hey, I see some bags. Anybody here for the first time? I'd like to invite you to stand. I've got a gift bag for you. It's got some information about Seaside and the books and just wonderful pieces. And your presence here today. Everybody hold up your hands. Just wave some love at these individuals and let them know what a difference you make by being here today and how you helped uplift this service. Everybody, make sure you get a chance to talk to our guests. Let people know this is a friendly place. So, hey, I want to do some prayer. Healing is the thrust of our movement since its conception. And I just want to share one of our members at the Center for Spiritual Living in Aurora, Colorado. One of the members there, Julie Wingle's life was taken in the shooting this last week, and she's left behind 2 children. And so we want to keep her kids particularly in our prayers. I'm sure we'll create a fund for her children, help support them. But it's just in this moment that we open our hearts to love that is far greater than the violence or the appearance, the challenges in life and in this world. For I know right now that the presence moves, and I invite any of our religious science practitioners to please stand and just invite everybody to feel this upliftment of consciousness, of possibilities, of the grace of God. For I know right now there is a faith that is within me that cannot be shaken by the actions of this world. There is a conviction that is within me that is so aligned with that higher expression of life that I do not give it away to the illusions and the appearances of life. And I come to know that truth of my being, that which birthed me into expression, that which is the first breath, the first cause, the order, that life force. That which I am stands in this moment, total alignment with the God expression, not a something outside, not a faith in something outside, but the faith of that presence is what speaks in this moment, knowing that the truth of the greater good has its way in every situation. And so in this very moment, allow this resonance of belief and love and good to surround that whole city of Aurora. Let us know that right now that heart vibration touches our nation and everyone that has been touched by that experience that has transpired there. And know that right in the midst of that is the rising of a greater peace and understanding for everyone involved. For there is no place that God is not. And I choose in the moments of the difficulties of my life to know God has it handled. To know that the good is happening now, that God's plan is my plan. And I surrender my fears and my concerns or my worries or my anxieties. They're no longer mine because I have let go of the illusion. And I become that clear vortex of that God flow, that divine flow. I am that transparency for that expression of spirit to be seen. And I close my eyes to the forms and begin to open up to the emergence of that which is far greater, and allow that to be that God, that atom that moves forth from me, that molecule that brings and attracts the greater good. For truly the blessings of Spirit is upon this moment, is upon this community that continues to grow and prosper and thrive, and each member moves to a greater conscious connection with Source, having faith that there's something greater in store than I could ever begin to imagine or hope for. I let go of my way to that God way and know that healing happens just as it does for every prayer request in our prayer request chest. Our beautiful sister, Stephanie Miner, who made her transition this week, know that she moves on with those wonderful currents of eternality, able to express herself freer than she has for years. For truly that's something that twinkled her eyes, puts a greater sparkle in the heavens. How grateful to have been touched by a light. How grateful to be in a community that loves, that is kind, that is caring, whose life is better because of the teachings. And I say thank you. And I just say thank you for this moment, for this realization, for this inkling of greater possibilities, that I choose to have faith as Mother Truth of my being, that I let go to, I surrender with a gratitude, not to anyone or anything outside, just a sense of grace and appreciation. I let go to that, knowing that all good is from that seed, from the increase. I let go, and I let it be. So it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through one more day, you've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say: I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. I'm only here for God. No more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Just you guys. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life and my heart
Jan Sherburne. Where are you, Jan? You want to wait? Jan is stepping into leading up our congregant care. So whenever there's issues that are going on in your life and your will, call Jan, and she will disseminate it out to the practitioners, the ministers, get the cards out, and just let you know we love you. So Jan's going to be at the service station being available, and just thank you for stepping up and orchestrating that. We're just so grateful you answer the prayer. And I want to point out one of the newest practitioners that wasn't here last week when I introduced the new ones. The latest one to pass the oral is one for Sandra Jenkins. Yay, congratulations. And with that said, the affirmation is, my good is now happening. Together, my good is now happening. Oh, come on, like you mean it. My good is now happening. One more time. My good is now happening. In our song of grace.
Living in love, I'm living in peace, I'm living my life for what I believe, through joys and through fears, in this world I walk, God's grace shines on me, and it shines to us all, we are living in grace.
It moves through us all. We are living in grace.